Is record? All right. Recording on progress. All right. Yay, back again with us here, SCBD Toastmasters. Tonight, I will be your SAA. As usual, I will tell you about our house rules because like the other house, there's a rules. So I want to appreciate all of you already come earlier. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I hope you can enjoy our night. And yeah, we can learn something together tonight. And the next is please identify yourself properly. If you are visiting Toastmasters, please input your name and then your club name. And for the non-Toastmasters, aka guests, please rename your name by G and also your name. And the third is turn on your camera. Make sure you open your camera because your face will be forever in our Instagram and also our YouTube. So you will get the exposure from our social media. And the next, keep your microphone on mute. You can unmute your microphone whenever you have a chance to speak. So, but if you don't have chance to speak, please mute your microphone. And lastly, be fully present and have fun. So let's have fun together because yeah, thanks God, it's Friday. So to yeah to start to starting earlier our weekend. So let's have fun together in SCBD Toastmasters. I think that's all from me as your lovely SAA. I will give it back the control to our Mr. President Toastmaster Alvin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raqi. For everyone, please unmute yourself and repeat after me. Happy morning!
Happy morning!
Thank you so much and welcome to SGBD Toastmasters Club, a place where you can become a better you by striving to progress. So for those who don't know what is Toastmaster, we are around the world. More than 300,000 members, more than 149 countries, and over 15,000 clubs over the world. And since 1924, Toastmaster is already a non-profit educational organization, which not only public speaking, also leadership skills. So about our club, we are a community that aspires to provide three values. First, equal opportunity for member self-development. Two, safe place to learn public speaking and leadership for everyone. And as the impact of the first two value is the number three, working opportunities for everyone. And once you jump into a Toastmaster on any clubs, you will choose a pathway. So what is pathways? Simply like a major in the college. Are you a medical doctor? Are you an engineer? Will choose based on your needs. For example, I was lack of leadership, so I choose dynamic leadership to solve my daily problem. And we are on last Ramadan, we are holding the meeting every Saturday on the morning. Now, in a normal days, we conduct the meeting every Friday. Well, if is that not enough, we can visit all clubs around the world. Like here is the schedule from the clubs that we are connecting each other. Most of the time, we have Toastmaster Rena from Eagle every Thursday, bi-weekly, my mistake. And we have Toastmaster Nanda from Mods on 7 p.m. on Wednesday. And we have Toastmaster Amel on Sunday in 2 p.m. from the back, yeah. And we will have induction ceremonies for our new members. Yay! Let's welcome our member Toastmaster Anom and Toastmaster Leonie. Wow. Please come to the stage. Yay! Please, where are Toastmaster Anom? Okay. Toastmaster Anom and Spotlight. Okay. So, Toastmaster Anom and Toastmaster Leonie, please repeat after me. I, in the presence of my fellow members of SGBD Toastmasters Club, make this firm obligation.
I, in the presence of my fellow members of SGBD Toastmasters Club, make this firm obligation
To attend meetings regularly and prepare completely for its assignments.
to attend meetings regularly and prepare completely
for each assignment.
for its assignment.
To apply myself to the projects outlined in the Toastmasters educational program.
To
To
apply myself to the projects outlined in the Toastmasters educational program.
And to actively participate in club activities.
And to actively participate in club activities.
Yay, thank you. And now for existing members, please unmute yourself and please answer following question. Will you solemnly swear to support and assist our newest member, Toastmaster Anom and Toastmaster Leonie, in order to strive for progress and become a better individual?
Yes, we
Yes,
will.
absolutely.
Yes, the answer
Yes,
is
we will.
yes.
Yes.
Welcome to the club.
Welcome to the club,
club.
Toastmaster Anom and Toastmaster Leonie. So that is our new members. Let's support them and become better by striving for progress. Now, thank you. Now, let's welcome our Toastmaster of the meeting coming from Jakarta Motivators, the Vice President of Membership from Jakarta Motivators. Let's welcome Toastmaster Nanda. Please come to the stage.
Yes, good evening everyone. Welcome to STBD regular meeting tonight. I'm the host, and we have especially only two session, which are prepare speech and then evaluation session. And without any further ado, we start the meeting, and I will share about what the theme for tonight. So our theme for tonight is, wait a moment, where is it? We talk about, wait yeah, I just arrived home, saya, come on, open, okay. We talk about strive for progress, and our WOD for tonight is pace. So I encourage you to mention as many as you can. So talking about strive for progress, I want to ask some people here about what do you think or how do you create your goals and doing that in the progress. Maybe you will move to Toastmaster. Is Raqi? So how you measure your progress in your life?
How I measure my progress in my life is actually I never measure because I just do it day by day, month by month, year by year. But maybe talking about the progress is when I feel little bit confidence than before, it will be I guess it will be the progress.
Wow, that's great. So I bet you are the person who thinks that let's be in the present.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, and that's good also. So I hope your daily life progress goes well, and namaste. Thank you, Toastmaster
Thank you so
Israki.
much. Yeah, you're
Yes.
welcome.
Okay, so let's get one more speaker talking about or sharing about their progress. Maybe Toastmaster Leonie, since you are a new member, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Is it your progress in your life by joining Toastmaster?
Yes, definitely. This is one of my life progress.
Okay, so wanna share more the reason why you finally choose as a member in Toastmaster?
I want to improve my ability to speak in general because I rarely do that, and I'm usually a passive listener. So now I'm trying to be a better person, and and I hope I could communicate and express my thoughts better with joining this club.
Okay, so I hope the best for you and please
Thank
enjoy your
you.
progress here. Okay, so we already hear some example or some experience, interesting story about progress. Let's we really start to the meeting. I want to call our GE tonight, Toastmaster Donna. Toastmaster Donna, are you here? Yes, there you are. Please, Toastmaster Donna, the stage is yours.
All right. Happy morning, everyone. Please unmute yourselves.
Morning.
Happy morning.
Happy
Happy
morning.
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 So good to see you guys again online. It's been a minute since we've done this. Really brings out the oldie vibes. Not oldie, but like, a couple years ago vibes. Okay, so I am here as your general evaluator. My task is to evaluate how the meeting runs from start to finish. I am here to introduce you to my team. Tonight, it will be a speakathon, aka a whole barrage just full of prepared speeches. So I would like to first call upon the stage our grammarian, Professor Lai. Are you here?
Yes, I am.
Hello, please come on up.
Hello. Thank you, General Evaluator Donna. Happy morning, fellow Toastmaster and friend. Today, my duty as the grammarian is to observe the proper use of English in our session today. I will note down errors such as incorrect grammar, incomplete sentences, and other common mistakes that I can take note of. I will also note down any beautiful phrase that is used in our session today. For the word of the day that is chosen by the club is the word pace. There are two definitions. First definition, the speed at which someone or something move. Example, their pace quicken as they approach the finish line. Second definition, the speed at which something happens or is done. They are struggling to keep up with the pace of the change in the industry. Fellow Toastmaster and friend, please try to use the word pace on our session today. Back to you, Donna.
Thank you very much, Professor Lai. Okay, your girl is back. Okay, so thank you very much for the introduction for our grammarian. He is here to make sure that we speak English the best as we can. Next up, I'd like to call up our timer, Shabrina. Are you here?
Yes, I am here, Madam GE.
Hello.
Okay, hello. So thank you, Madam GE, and happy morning, everyone. Today I will be your timer, and as mentioned before, that today is a speakathon meeting. So we only have a prepared speech session and evaluation session. I noticed from the agenda that all prepared speakers' speech length will be 5 to 7 minutes. Exclude Toastmasters Anom because his speech will be 2 to 3 minutes, which means the same as evaluation speech. So I will give a signal for the time remaining for each speaker from the changing of my virtual background. If for the prepared speech session, if my background turns green, it means that 5 minutes has you have reached your 5 minutes. And if it turns yellow, it means that you have reached 6 minutes. And if it turns red, it means that you have reached 7 minutes. And you will be given 30 seconds to wrap up your speech if you haven't finished your speech when the background is red. And for the evaluation speech and also for Toastmasters Anom, if my virtual background turns into green, it means that the speech length is the speech has reached 2 minutes. And if it's yellow, then it means 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And if it turns into red, it means that you have reached 3 minutes and you will be given 30 seconds to wrap up your speech. For to make it easier for you, I will be faceless throughout the meeting. I will put the dark navy Toastmaster background on my screen, and I will raise my hand so that you can pin my screen, and I will put the time report after each speaker finish their speech, and will present the recap at the end of each session. That's all from the timer. Back to you, Madam T.
All right, thank you very much, Shabrina, for introducing her role as the timer. Next up, we have our newest member in her very first role, Leonie, as our WOD counter. Hello.
Thank you, Donat. My name is Leonie, and I'm your WOD counter for today's meeting. My responsibility is to note sounds and words that are used as a pause filler by anyone who speaks tonight. Sounds such as and words such as so, but, like. I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or phrase such as I, or this means. Another thing that I note is the word of the day, which is pace. Please use it as much as you can during this speech. I hope I could keep pace with all of that. And at the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times that each speaker used these expressions. So thank you, and back to you, GE.
Okay, thank you very much to Toastmaster Leonie, and let's congratulate her on her very first role. Unmute yourselves. Woo!
Woo!
Okay, next up, last but not least, the most awaited person in the room, mayhaps. I am here to call our ballot counter, Toastmaster Farah.
Thank you, Madam GE. Happy morning, everyone.
Happy morning.
Tonight, my responsible is as a ballot counter. As a ballot counter, I will collect and count the ballot. For tonight meeting is only prepared speech. So for the ballot is only for prepared speech, and for the best evaluator, I will share the link at the end of the session. So please vote who is your best prepared speakers and who is your best evaluator in the end of the session. Okay, thank you. Back to our Madam GE, Toastmaster Donna.
All right. Thank you, Toastmaster Farah, for introducing your role as ballot counter. All right. Since I have introduced my own role at the beginning of this session, I am here to immediately pass the microphone and the baton to our Toastmaster of the meeting, Toastmaster Nanda.
Yes, thank you, Toastmaster Donna. So that's all our role takers for tonight. So please pay attention, audience, to every role takers duties, such as WO counter, and you already count me say how many times, gitu kan, and then others. So next we start our prepare speech. The first speaker will be Toastmaster Agung and will be evaluated by Toastmaster Amel. Do we have Toastmaster Amel here?
Yes.
Yes, so Toastmaster Amel, please explain Toastmaster Agung project, and the stage is yours.
Okay, everyone. Today, Toastmaster Agung will deliver project of high performance leadership. This is the second speech. The speech length is 5 until 7 minutes, and the purpose of this project is for member to apply his or her leadership and planning knowledge to develop a project plan, organize a guidance committee, and implement the plan with help of the team. The second speech is for the member to share some aspect of his or her experience completing the project. The title of his speech is "The World Doesn't End." Toastmaster Agung, the world doesn't end. The world doesn't end, Toastmaster Agung.
Happy morning, my fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. First, timer already in. Yes, as mentioned by my evaluator that I am now giving my second speech or the post-production speech after the event that we ran last March on 17th. It was held in SCBD, which is the debate series between SCBD Toastmasters versus SCBD friends. So do you guys still remember what the theme of that night? Maybe if you still remember, please chat down below on the chat box. Or if you still remember, please unmute yourself. Maybe Toastmaster Adrian, you still remember the theme?
I think it's an open discussion about smartphone.
Yes, yes, open discussion about smartphones, which one is better, Android or iPhone? Correct. Thank you so much for your participation, Toastmaster Adrian. Yeah, smartphone makes us stupid. Correct, Toastmaster Nia. Thank you so much. But well, this is just opening, but I'm not talking about that theme or anything else about that event, but I would like to confess something to you guys. That I was panicking once. During the preparation or the process before the event. Why? Basically, I couldn't focus on something else when problem or obstacles coming into my way. It was when some stuffs didn't go well or didn't go as planned as I already set as a timeline, so that the other deadlines will be on my neck. And the timeline was disturbed, preparation also disturbed and messed up, something like that. So I was panicking. Like thinking, what should I do? How should I do? And so on, and so on, and so on. Yep, technically, I couldn't think clearly. Yes, I am famous for being anxious easily. Yes. And then I thought, yeah, that is my problem, not the other's problem. And I reminded myself, I knew from the very beginning before I joined Toastmasters journey and also even took this project, high performer leadership, I knew that I could get easily anxious. So then during the process, I got reminded also by my team member, also the team member in SCBD Toastmasters, that this project actually will teach me. And also my friend once said, even if I fail this project, the world doesn't end. The world doesn't end if I fail this project. So chill and just go on, do whatever you want to do, just being on track. And then, all right. And then, yeah, I remember I came here and took this project because I want to gradually reduce my anxiety problem. Yes, I face that problem, and also I want to face that problem. I mean to reduce that problem. And then I talk to myself like the millennials and also Gen Z, always self-talk and self-reflection, right? That I talk to myself, how can you lead Agung when you are so anxious? How can you inspire and how can you motivate your team member if your heart are racing and your mind is everywhere and overthinking? Please manage your emotion, Agung. And talk to myself, And I read an article how to tackle the anxiety when you are doing something. So the thing is that how you interpret the challenges and how you face and how you choose to respond to that challenge. You can either emerge into an irregular network of roads, or it will be difficult, or you can choose to look at the situation in a positive way, in a positive outlook. Based on that article, of course, I choose to look the situation in positive way. As my best friend said, the world doesn't end. The world doesn't end if I fail this project. And then I went on and on. I just continued the process by finding the new way to solve the problem with discussion with team member, with brainstorming with them, and also help from SCBD Toastmasters members and also other clubs as well. Thank you so much. And that's why I appreciate the effort and the time that the team member spent on this project. And I'm truly, truly honored to be your leader. And until the event was successfully run. So that is all from me. Once again, for my team member and SCB Toastmasters members, thank you so much for being there when I got anxious, when I was a leader. And I'm proud to myself that I could be and I can be a leader. Thank you so much. Back to you, Tom.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Agung. I just want to toast with you since we are overthinker expert, right? And yeah, work doesn't end just because we fail. This is what my friend always said. But yeah, sometimes life is so hard to accept. So thank you for inspiring us. And that's very okay to fail once, 2 or 3 times because we still have chance to fix it tomorrow, like what Coldplay said. Okay, so let's move to the next speaker since this is a speakathon. So we move to our second speaker, which means Toastmaster Ravindran Subramaniam. Okay, sorry. The distinguished Toastmaster DTM Ravindran Subramaniam. And the evaluator will be Toastmaster Alvin. So I will call Toastmaster Alvin to present DTM Ravindran Subramaniam.
We
Toastmaster,
kind of order
yes.
there has been a switch. So
Hmm.
the evaluator for DTM Ravee is Toastmaster Hani.
Okay. Okay, so
There's been
please
a switch.
Toastmaster Hani. Okay. Thank you for letting me know. Toastmaster Hani, we have Toastmaster Hani here.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay, there
Wait
you
a moment.
are. So yes, please present DTM Ravee. The screen is yours.
Okay, happy morning, my fellow Toastmasters. My name is Hani. Tonight I will be the evaluator for DTM Ravee. He will deliver in pathway presentation mastery level 3 project persuasive speaking. Wait a minute. The purpose of this project is for the member to understand the type of persuasive speeches and deliver persuasive speech in the event. And without further ado, let's hear from DTM Ravee, A or B, DTM Ravindran Subramanian. The stage is yours.
With a speech title like A or B, what do you think I would be talking about? Well, let me tell you, it is not about blood type. It's about choices. How do we make choices? You see, one thing is clear once we are born. We are inundated with multiple occasions to make choices, possibly until we go to our graves. Now, the question then arises is, how do we make sane, rational, logical choices? Well, sometimes it's only between A and B, so it's quite easy. But oftentimes it goes C, D, E, F, and what have you. So it becomes even much more complicated. I will share with you. It's actually as easy as Japanese. Remove subjectivity as much as you can, and you be as objective as possible. And you find, hey, presto, the answer was so obvious, so clear, so natural. Now, let me give you an example to illustrate the scenario, the context. Then this will become a bit clearer. Assuming you are in the human resource department of an organization, a company, and you are recruiting new employees, new hirees, or considering people for promotion, what will we do? We will invite applications. Then we'll go through the applications objectively. Right? We'll see if they met the minimum criteria. Then we'll tabulate on a sheet of paper, and we'll start ranking according to who has a better fit or who is better than the other in terms of the set minima. Then that list is passed to a group of interviewers who interview them and select them. Now, it may be different in family-run organizations. Family-run organizations a little different, but by and large, most organizations is objective. Now, the question I like to ask, does the same objectivity in selecting leaders come in Toastmasters? At club level is fine because we all are close-knit family, we know each other, so that's well and settled. When it comes to the district leadership level, how well do the people who elect them know the candidate's background? Things like, what have they contributed to growing Toastmasters? How do they resolve conflict? By and large, the people who elect them, normally the presidents, vice president educations, and other district officers, we elect them based merely on subjectivity rather than objectivity, because they don't know the candidates well enough. The district is geographically a very large area. We may not have met the candidates before. So I will put it to you, I will share it to you, that the better method would have been to get to know the background of the candidates in terms of what they have done to grow Toastmasters. Like, for example, they have helped to charter X number of clubs. They have helped to turning around X number of dying clubs. They have run some projects to enable members to learn something much more and outside the scheme of pathways. That would be an example of leadership above the minimum. Now, in some cases, of course, there are no competing candidates. That's fine. Whoever comes in, first in, there's no other competing candidate, they get in. But when there is a competing candidate, they must be assessed objectively. And I'd also like to know how well do they handle conflict? Because the higher you go in the leadership track, the more conflict resolution will come into play. Do you handle with finesse? Or you handle it very crudely? Because there's an art to handling conflict. And the art is simple. Listening to all parties concerned before making a decision. Do you have that knack? I like to know as someone who's electing someone to a higher office. That's what we do in the interviews. But pray, it was not so. In one district, need not mention the name of district, that's not the point here. At the district leadership showcase, 95% of the questions raised to the candidates was, what would you do had you or were you elected into the post? What do you think they will tell you? Of course, they'll paint a rosy picture. I'll do this and do that and do this. That's all subjectivity. Where is your background to demonstrate your ability upon which I can make fair projections? Not an absolute clear method, but certainly better than going on objectivity. Subjectivity. Now, this is very important. In any organization, leadership determines the growth of the organization, whether Toastmasters or non-Toastmasters. Your future and mine depends on the leaders that we have before us. What are the 4 pillars in Toastmasters? Respect, integrity, service, excellence. Excellence not only in communications, in leadership too. And how do you determine the excellence? By way of objective selection. So I put it to you, remove subjectivity as much as you can, bring objectivity, and your choice of between A or B becomes as simple as A, B, C. Back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Yes, thank you, DTM Ravee. Wow, I really like your closing statement that move the subjectivity and raise the objectivity. Although I know it's very difficult to do, especially if we have some issue or maybe we can see the potential of people. If I can ask you one question, only one question, if you have a chance to choose a leader, which one that you might consider as a better one? Smart but dominating, or he or she wants to listen people but cannot decide anything by themselves? Which one that you think better?
All right. This is a question with the devil and the deep blue sea. You both ways, you get caught. But to me, an empathetic leader is better because even though he's not able to make a decision, the team will help him to make the decision. It's teamwork end of the day. So where the leader fails, the team takes over. That to me is more important. Empathetic, ability to listen. Thank you.
Thank you, DTM Ravee. Wow, very super. I totally agree with you. So thank you for inspiring us. And since, again, this is a speakathon, let's move to the next speaker. The third speaker will be Toastmaster Shabrina. Toastmaster Shabrina will be evaluated Toastmaster Genison. Is it true?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, where are you, Toastmaster Genison?
Hello. Hi.
There you are. So you ready to evaluate Toastmaster? Oh no, you ready to present Toastmaster Shabrina?
Yes.
Okay, the screen is yours.
All right, Toastmaster Shabrina, this is your evaluation and feedback part 2 project. That means this project is focused for you to apply the feedback you received on your part 1 speech. And I hope you have fun on stage. Let us welcome Toastmaster Shabrina, the underrated delight of home-cooked meals. All you.
All right. Am I audible and visible, everyone?
Yes, you are.
Great. All right then. Hi, everyone. 3 weeks ago, we just had big festive day, which is Idul Fitri. For those who celebrate, I believe you still remember the warm feeling of gathering with your family, eating homemade meals with your loved ones. For me, I still remember eating the savory chicken with coconut milk and beef rendang accompanied by ketupat, while laughing with my uncles and my family because of his dad jokes, bapak-bapak jokes. It was nice, right? I believe most of you had that kind of experience. For the Christian, you might have this experience during the Christmas Eve. For the Chinese, you have this experience during the Chinese New Year reunion dinner. And for those who are in US and Canada, they are big in Thanksgiving dinner. All countries has different festive days. But my point is, all of the festive days has one thing in common, and it's not complete without signature meals. And the signature meals feeling so special because it is homemade. So I would like tonight to encourage you all to eat homemade meals more. Why? Because homemade meals is actually very special. And we usually feel that it's special because we usually eat that in the celebration day. So at the celebration day, we often eat this meal, but for everyday meals, we rarely have this meal. That's why we feel that this is special. And why we feel that this is also very special, because most of us or some of us in everyday meal, we just like take the easy one because it's getting easier and faster for us to just order in or having takeout meals, or we just eat out in a restaurant. So we don't realize that it's amazing to have homemade meals and it can make our lives better. How so? First of all, homemade meals can bring a good spiritual, emotional, and physical well-being for us, especially in children. So it creates the sense of security and love at home. And for children, it builds a mindset and a good habit that they can know what their body needs and what home can provide it for them. Like in Japan, the elementary school student, they are taught how to grow their own vegetable. And when they harvest their vegetable, they cook and then together with the teacher, with the parents, and then they eat it together with the whole school or with their family. And it teaches them, they learn to appreciate the nature, they learn to appreciate the process of how having a delicious meals on the table, and they share it to their friends and family. So it makes them smarter, kinder, and a better person who's conscious about the gift of nature. Furthermore, on nature, having homemade meals is also means we contribute to sustainability of the world. While eating out, spending our money outside can contribute to the economy, it's actually not really good for the environment. Why? Because according to the Journal of Korean Society and Food Culture, by having homemade meals at least 3 days a week, it can reduce the food container waste to 30%. So imagine 30% is a big number. Yeah. Also, eating out every day is definitely not sustainable for our wallet, right? It's the fastest way for us to get bankrupt at the early months because all we do is spending our money eating out in the viral restaurant we see in TikTok. Right. So I would like to encourage all of you to eat more homemade meals for those reasons. We agree that we enjoy life by having five senses adventure, our smell, and then vision, taste, and our hearing, and also our touch. Well, actually, we can enjoy those at the comfort of our home at the fraction of the cost. We can smell the spices when we are cooking in the kitchen. We can see the food presentation that we our own create, and then we can hear the sound of plate and spoon hitting each other when we take our meals from the kitchen table. We can touch the meal and then taste it with our mouth with our family. So, my friends, now I would like you to eat homemade meals every day because you know that it's good for sustainability. It's good for your well-being emotionally and physically, and it's also good for your strong bond with your family. And at the end, I believe that family who cook their own meal, who eat together, will stay together forever. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shabrina. Wah, I hope I can have your homemade meals. Yeah, I really like homemade meals, but yeah, so sad for my future families. Yeah, and I dislike. I'm not interested to cook. So again, thank you, Toastmaster Shabrina. Let's move to the next speaker. Next speaker will be the fourth speaker, Toastmaster Anom, and evaluated by Toastmaster Alvin. Am I correct, right?
You are correct.
Okay, Toastmaster Alvin, please present Toastmaster Anom. The screen is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nanda. So tonight, our new joining member, Toastmaster Anom, will deliver a managed project successfully. The very first speech, the first speech of the project. The purpose of the project is for Toastmaster Anom to practice developing a plan, building a team, and fulfilling the plan with the help of his team. And the purpose of the first speech is for Toastmaster Anom to give a short overview of the plan for his project. And I will listen for an explanation for what Toastmaster Anom intend to accomplish and information about the team the member has built to help him to accomplish the plan, and a well-organized informational speech. Without further ado, let's welcome Toastmaster Anom as contest chair. As contest chair, Toastmaster Anom.
Mrs. Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. Abraham Lincoln said, "Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend the first 4 sharpening the axe." As a contest chair, project planning is an essential part of ensuring the success of any event. Planning requires attention to detail, effective communication, and a focus and pacing to keep the event on track. To begin, it's crucial to define the project's goals and objectives. Understand the audience and establish a budget and timeline. The goals is to run a successful Division G contest with a budget of 0 and 1 month time frame. These foundational aspects will help determine the scope of the event and provide a clear direction for planning. Once the goals are established, effective communication is the key. The contest chair must work closely with all parties involved, such as judges, SAA, MC, and test speaker, to ensure everyone is aligned on expectations and timelines. For this, I will have 3 effective Zoom meetings prior to the contest. Pacing is also critical to the success of the event, as the contest chair is essential to keep the program moving along at a reasonable pace without rushing or dragging out any particular elements. That's why I create a detailed schedule with a clear timeline for each item on the agenda to keep the event on track. And of course, I will communicate this schedule effectively to judges, SAA, MC, and also test speaker. In conclusion, by defining goals, communicating effectively, and creating a detailed schedule, I believe the Vision G contest will be a success. A well-planned event not only satisfies attendees, but also creates a memorable experience for all involved. Thank you. Back to Tom.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anom. So, wow, your experience is very great. I hope you can be out. You have your own pace to achieve your progress. Again, thank you, Toastmaster Anom. I hope you are still on your best mood, guys, because we still have 3 speaker more, and of course, listening all of them are very a grateful moment for us because we can learn from their experience as well. So the next speaker, the 5th speaker will be Toastmaster. The 5th speaker is Toastmaster Adrian. Toastmaster Adrian will be evaluated by Toastmaster Garda. Is Toastmaster Garda here?
Yes, Madam Tom, I'm here.
Yes, okay. Please welcome Toastmaster Garda. Toastmaster Garda, the scene is yours.
Thank you, Madam Tom. Have a good evening, my fellow Toastmasters and soon-to-be Toastmasters. This evening, I am delightful and can be more grateful enough to evaluate Toastmaster Adrian on his project of evaluation and feedback on his first speech. Whereas the purpose of this project is for him to practice applying feedback and serve as a speech evaluator during a club meeting, as well as presenting a speech and receiving feedback from the evaluator. And for the next 5 to 7 minutes, let's hear it from Toastmaster Adrian. Having too much money is a bad thing. Having too much money is a bad thing. Toastmaster Adrian, the screen is yours.
I want to build an organization that helps people on the street. I will cook for them, I will packaging the food, and I will distribute it to them every Friday. Would you mind to give me your money for that? Raise your hand if you want to help me to build an organization like this. Oh, I see some of you raise your hand. Thank you very much. And let's say in the other case, yesterday, I made a grave mistake and that will let someone get fired because of me. Unfortunately, there's an eyewitness to that and he demands money not to report me to my boss. I'm afraid. And would you give me some of your money for that? Okay, cool. There's none. Thank you. Although these 2 are extreme cases, let's see that there's the same amount of money that would produce different results. We have heard in recent news that these already rich people actually got involved in corruption, bribing, fraud, even if they already has all of that money. Maybe they do that several times unnoticed, but at the end, the money would do them no good for their whole life. Maybe we want to ask, why would you do that? You already have that money. If it was me, I would spend it leisurely. Again, the other case, I'm sure you have heard the news that this humble rich person, he is willingly to give away all of his wealth. He has his own foundation for that. And amazingly, the money flows seems doesn't stop on that. They still have the money while he giving back to the community, to the social. Again, it is the same thing. So let's not frame that having a lot of money is always a bad thing in our mind. If you can, get them. Money is indeed comes to those who are entitled. Okay, we might wonder why the bad guys have all of that money. I will say to you, even that what they do is a bad thing, it still needs a hard work. So, okay, of course, the money comes to because of their hard work. But believe me, the money that already has in their pocket would do them no good. Like in the first example. So raise your hand if you knew Steve Harvey. Okay, some of you knew him. So for those who doesn't know him, he is an actor, producer, a lifelong philanthropist, and he has his own shows called Steve Harvey's Morning Show. I remember this a little while back ago. He's saying something like this. People say money changes people. I'll tell you, money doesn't really change people. If you are kind when you have a lot of money, you will be a kinder person. But if you are a bad person when you have that a lot of money, I say you will be worse person than before. Money is there just to support you, to amplify who you really are actually. Like he said, if you're kind, when you have a lot of money, you will be kinder person. Money itself is not an evil. So my fellow Toastmaster and esteemed guests, I believe we are all here is for a good cause. Money is indeed has the power to support our mission, our dream, and our well-being. A lot of money? Why not? There's nothing wrong with that. Let's have this conscious way of living. We decide who we really are and what kind of person we really want to be. And don't let money, even a lot of that, stray us away from that path. So, would you give me your money?
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Adrian. If you ask me, will I give you your money? Yes, if I have too much money, because your title is very clickbait. I just say like, what? Having money is a bad thing? No, if you think so, just give to me your money. Thank you, Toastmaster Adrian. Okay, we learn a lot more from each speaker. We learn about how to manage our progress in our own pace. We also learn how to think about money. Money can change people or not. And we also talk about relationship. Wow, all those speakers are very great. But it hasn't finished yet since we still have two more speakers. So I will call the sixth speaker Toastmaster Ivonne. But before that, let's call the evaluator Toastmaster Revo. Toastmaster Revo will present Toastmaster Ivonne and explain her project. Toastmaster Revo, are you here?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All
So you
right.
ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Toastmaster Revo, the screen is yours.
Okay, hi everybody. I'm sorry for the background and the situation that I am in. I should have been home, but well, I have to stay in the office to join your guys' meeting. Okay, so today I will evaluate Toastmaster Yvonne for her pathway motivational strategies, level 1, project 5, about research and presenting. It will be 5 to 7 minutes. And then the speech title is The Dark Side of Fashion. And the purpose of the speech is or project is for the member to learn or review basic research methods and present a well-organized, well-researched speech on any topic. So after research, she will give the speech about the research that she has done beforehand. Yeah, so let's give it a hand for Dr. Yvonne, the dark side of fashion, the dark side of fashion, Toastmaster Yvonne.
Thank you, Evaluator Alvin. Thank you. Hello, Toastmaster. Do you wash the new clothes when you buy them? I do. But I became very curious. Why? The water always turn the color of the clothing after washing them. Did you notice this too? So I went to ask the sailor, why? Why didn't you fix the color before production? Am I correct? Fellow Toastmaster and guest. There were two ladies who had been experienced mysterious symptoms. They didn't know why their body were getting weaker, their eyes so fuzzy, and their hands shaking. They even need their family help them with daily tasks. After consulting with countless doctors, they finally find an authoritative cranial nerve doctor who diagnosed them with poison. They were poisoning. That means their body already taken over by the evil toxin. But they kept asking themselves, why would someone poison us? Maybe you ask her, why have caused this mysterious illness? Was that them touching something or eat something? No, it turns out it was something they wore. The clothes were trying to kill them. Can you imagine that? So after a long period investigation, these two ladies actually they work in a shopping center like the California. So they didn't work in a dangerous environment. They merely dismantle the cartons and taking out the clothing, hang them. But why such simple work so dangerous? The answer lay in the cotton clothing. So a very famous Germany company, they want to investigate this matter further. They discover the clothes actually made by a very famous questionable garment factory. They went there, want to investigate the cotton growing procedure. So first, it's really a shocking. They find the farmer actually want to produce a lot of produce the big quantities of the cotton. So the farmer use large amount of artificial chemical. They even some of them lost their life since the artificial chemicals. And let's take a look for the clothing production processing. We know the cotton flower actually they are not white color. So before production, they need bleach and then dye into various color like the red, yellow, or green, and so on. That means the color, the coloring agent are added into the clothes for this purpose. And additionally, to prevent our clothes wrinkling or shrinking, the factory have to add some agent for the anti-shrinking or anti-wrinkling. So there are so many agents are added into our clothes to make it better, look better, and last longer. But how come our clothes already became poisonous? Fellow Toastmaster, we never knew. There are so many dangers lurking inside our clothing. Even the two ladies became permanently diseased. So what can we do? Fellow Toastmasters and guests, we mostly thinking the polluted food can affect our health. But now we know more about how many chemicals go into producing our clothing. Did you see the dangerous, the potential risk there? So may I ask you, what can we do? What can we do for the poison clothing? I think for my ideas, let's help to support the organic, natural farmer and buy the organic clothes. It may be the monetary cost a little higher, but the benefits for our health is enormous. It's enormous. So let's support the organic farmer. Back to our TME. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ivonne. Wow, the dark side of fashion.
You're muted, Nanda.
Yes,
Nanda, you're
we
muted.
can't hear you.
Sorry. Again, thank you, Toastmaster Ivonne, the dark side of the fashion. Yes, I think it's also happen for any industry when we talk about a big industry, factory, and so on. There is always a dark side because, again, as a business owner, they just want to get a cheap product cost, but the cost for environment, people, it's also it's also worse. So thank you for inspire us. Hopefully one day or even now, if we already be a business owner, we can take a wise for our production. And as a customer, we always have a choice to be a wise. Like consider how long you use your or you have your clothes or fashion. Don't FOMO, please, because FOMO is a trigger or a starting point to get to create a worse environment. Because the factory will produce more and more. Again, thank you, Toastmaster Ivonne. So next, finally, this is the last speaker that we have for tonight, but I also feel a bit sad because we don't have many speakers left. Please, we call Toastmaster Raqi and the evaluator Toastmaster Nia. Toastmaster Nia will present Toastmaster Raqi. Hello, Toastmaster Nia.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, so the screen is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nanda. All right. Hello, my fellow Toastmasters. My name is Nia. I am from the Ultimate Toastmasters Club. And perhaps I will not be here if my very good friend Toastmaster Raqi is not inviting me as his evaluator. And so that I will evaluate his project, connect with storytelling, and his purpose of the project is for him to practice using a story within a speech or giving a speech that is a story. And his speech length will be 5 up to 7 minutes. And without a further ado, let's call Toastmaster Raqi. Communication is the key for everything. Communication is the key for everything. Toastmaster Raqi.
Happy morning, my fellow Toastmasters and soon-to-be Toastmasters. Please bear with me, guys. I know it's a long journey from the first speaker until the sixth speaker. Trust me, I'm the last speaker for tonight. All right, talking about communication, the first principle of a relationship is that good communication is the foundation of everything. Any one of you agree or disagree? If you agree, please type 1. If you are not agree, please type 2 on the chat box. All right, type 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Yes. Thank you so much. The word communication is often used in many seminars and as a college major, and it feels so last year. Everything just talking about communication, communication, and communication. But maybe I wanna choose one of you here, or maybe 2 of you. I wanna ask to first, maybe to our top, Toastmaster Nanda. Hello, Toastmaster Nanda, are you there?
Yes.
I wanna ask you, how often do you experience problems because of communication?
Many times, especially if the communication is indirect, like chat or yes, maybe text. Text is very easy to misunderstand.
All right. Yes, I couldn't agree more. Text is more easy to be misunderstood without emoticon. That's why I always use emoticon on the chat. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nanda. And the next, maybe I will ask Toastmaster Alvin. Hello, Mr. President.
Hello.
How often do you experience problem because of communication?
Yeah, in my experience, the problem comes when the coordination is using a text or WhatsApp. So whenever that's happened, there is some miscommunication or someone that cannot catch the key message. So what I did is call them directly, and to convey what is the real problem and what should we do. So prefer talking directly rather than texting.
All right, thank you so much, Toastmaster Alvin. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Toastmaster Nia always also said here, phone call is better than texting. Yeah, I couldn't agree more because by phone call, we can recognize the emotion, we can recognize the tone of their voice. Again, communication is the key for everything. How you convey something according to what is in your mind and is fully accepted, especially in a relationship. Unfortunately, many couples these days have poor communication. Any one of you have a problem in your relationship because of communication? If it is yes, please type 3. If it is not, please type 4. 3, 3, 3, 3. Wow, so many 3 here. Yeah. Maybe because I wanna tell you illustrate the conversation between boy and girl with the poor communication, really, really poor communication. Maybe one day in the restaurant, the boy just asked to his girlfriend, like, "Hi, babe, what do you want to eat to our candlelight dinner?" And then the girl just said, "Do you? Because you invite me here, so I should I believe you can choose the best food for us." And then the food is coming, and then the girl just said like, "Do you want me to look fat because this food? Why you choose this food?" Or maybe the other occasion. Someday the boy just said to her girlfriend, "Babe, are you okay? What do you think?" And then the girl just put on the IG story with the blackout, and then the emoticon mood, and then the boy should guessing what the girl feels at that night. Yeah, my suggestion is please strive to have clear and smooth communication. So I will give you the tutorials to have the clear and smooth communication. First is express your feelings and avoid blaming. Yeah, in a relationship, please, you can express your feeling, and because it will help you to have the healthy communication, because blaming is just a toxic. Blaming is a drugs in a relationship. Second, start communicating about small things frequently. Maybe like a happy morning, my dear. Have you done your lunch? What time will you go home? Just do it frequently. And the third is the monumental. The third is listen to understand, not to respond. Why? because sometimes people want to talk to us just to be listened, not to reply. So remember that, just be the good listeners to your girlfriend or your other relationship. Communication is not just about speaking and being heard. It's also about listening and understanding. Communication is the foundation of any healthy relationship, whether it's romantic or not. Without it, misunderstandings can occur and relationship can falter. Lastly, if you want to start talking and really listen to each other, you will be surprised to hear many things you never imagined from the other side. I think that's all. Back to you, Tom.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raqi, and his speech about communication, relationship, and things that makes me feel confused and also sad because I'm the expressive one. Please, guys. Okay, I just remember that one day I heard these quotes. We used to believe that listening is everything, but I think why many people get separate or divorced if listening is the key one. But what Toastmaster Raqi said, understanding also important for the relationship. Hope we all here all have a good relationship or soon to have a good relationship. Okay, thank you Toastmaster Raqi. Okay, there we already finished the prepared speech session. We already had seven speaker. So I want to call our timer to present her report. I want to call Toastmaster Rena.
Okay, thank you, Tom, Toastmaster Nanda. So I have already shared the detailed timing report for each speakers. And unfortunately, our last two speakers are not eligible to be voted. So we will only have 5 speakers on the voting session. Thank you. Back to you, Tom.
Okay, thank you Toastmaster Rena. So how about Toastmaster Farah? Do you have minutes to create the poll or you already have a link for voting?
Yes, I already have the link, so I share to the chat box. Please vote to the Google form that I already shared.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Farah. So we have 1 minute of silence. Please give your best. Please support your best speaker by click the vote link and vote for them. Thank you. Okay, 1 minute of silence is done. Let's take a break for a while since we need to cooling down before we move to the evaluation session. I think we still have time, right, SAA?
We
Okay.
proceed
Yes.
to the next.
Yes.
Now we proceed to the next, which is
Yes.
group pictures.
Let's take a picture.
Oh, yeah, sure. Please, guys, show your best pose. I encourage you to open your camera because it will be posted on SCBD Instagram. And also, can we share our username to be taken?
Yes, please do
Yes,
so.
Yes.
Please make our lives easier.
It's okay.
Okay.
Okay, let me take the picture. There will be two pictures. Please open your camera. Gensen, Arif, Ewis, Putra, Toastmaster Garda, Ari. If it is possible. Now the first photo. 3, 2, 1. Check back. Okay, second one. Please be wilder. Okay, please be wilder. Out of the box pose. 3, 2, 1. Okay, back to you, Tom.
Thank you, our president, Toastmaster Alvin. And I like the cekrek sound because it's like a sign for us to move the next pose. Okay, since I said we need to take a break and we need to cooling down, I want to ask our guests here and let's hear from them. Maybe Toastmaster, soon to be Toastmaster Putra, are you here? Guess, Putra?
Hello. Yeah. Sorry.
Hi. Yes. Is it your first time coming to SCBD Toastmaster?
Actually, it's second time.
Okay. So what do you think about tonight's meeting?
Direct meeting is I very enjoyable this meeting, and thank you for having me. And I learned a lot about public speaking. Definitely. Thank you.
Thank you. I hope I can hear your speech in the next meeting I come here. Thank you, Toastmaster Putra. Yes. Yeah. How about Toastmaster Ais?
Hello. Good evening.
Hi. Yes, good
Yeah.
evening. Is it your first time coming to SCBD?
Yes, this is my first time. I'm kind of this is my first experience. That's why I think like, oh, okay. I'm not really I kind of new here, so I just know from all of you that you actually can speak everything about yourself. So it's good. Thank you.
Thank you, soon to be Toastmaster Ais. Actually, usually for Toastmaster meeting, we have 3 sessions. The second one is table topics, and it is a chance for all of us here to explore our public speaking skill by join in impromptu speech. But for today, we don't have that. Hopefully, you can come to the SCBD Toastmaster in the next meeting and challenge yourself by joining table topic session. Again, thank you, soon to be Toastmaster Ais.
Thank you.
Okay, you done, guys? Already take your drink bottle, and then or have your snack, because I want to move for the third session. Oh no, for the second session, evaluation session, and I want to call our GE Toastmaster Donna. Toastmaster Donna, are you ready? You are still mute. Okay. Okay, Toastmaster Donna, the screen is yours.
Thank you very much to our Toastmaster of the meeting, Toastmaster Nanda. Let's give her a round of applause. Please unmute yourselves. Okay. So I am here. Whoop whoop! I am here to present us the Breakfast of Champions, the unique and most awaited point of being in Toastmasters and being a Toastmasters, and that is the evaluation session. We have tonight 7 whole evaluators, and we will go ahead and start with our very first evaluator, Toastmaster Amel.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Donna. Okay, wait. Congratulations to Toastmaster Agung for completing his high performance leadership for the second speech. And also congratulations to conquer your anxiety, because after you finish this anxiety and this project, you can and you know how to deal with them. I like to think from your speech. The first is on how you open the speech and remind the audience about your previous project. Everyone might forget about what is actually his project, but you make them remember again just to ask them to type on the chat box what actually the debate program that you have worked for. The second thing that I like from your speech is when you tell your struggle with anxiety, it is very great because you use a personal story, and I think everyone here might be inspired by you. If they feel anxious, maybe we can just think, okay, the world will not end. And for the suggestion that might boost your speech, I have a couple suggestions. I see that your time is still on yellow, so there's still time left to tell about your project. So maybe you can tell more about the event itself, how you completing them. Maybe you can tell us more, which actually the part that you that made you anxious with this event, and also what's your feeling after completing this event, and at last what you learned after completing this event. So in conclusion, that was a great speech. I think you are ready for the next step to become a leader because you already finished the high performance leadership. I like how you open your speech and use your personal story in there, and you can elaborate more detail about the event itself and what you learned from them. That's all from me. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster Donna.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Amel, for a very comprehensive evaluation for our first speaker, Toastmaster Agung. And we'd like to all congratulate Toastmaster Agung for completing his high performance leadership project. Okay, next up, we have our second evaluator, Toastmaster Hani. Toastmaster Hani will be evaluating our second speaker, DTM Ravee. Toastmaster Hani, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
All right.
Wait.
Screen is yours.
Okay. First, I want to say congratulations to DTM Ravee to present that level 3 project is a persuasive speaking. That I know as a you are trying to persuade to us by give the message at the end. This is the power of message that I learned from you, DTM Ravee. And beside of that, I want to highlight what what is it? What the good that I noticed, the highlight in got from you. The first is sorry, I just cleared the end. First, I like during your speech, you present with the hand gesture and by the hand gesture, and you combine with the story, and also the body language that I got is you synchronize during the hand gesture and during the story, and the pace is stable. And the second, what I like is at the end you give the message is by A or B. A or B is your choice. and you can give the message to persuade us to seeing the objective beside of the subjective from the others perspective, so it can persuade us how to learn seeing the objective from everyone. And what I need to give the improvement for you is first, I'm sorry, I think beside of I didn't hear clearly like your micro expression during the what you want to tell to us, like example, you what is it, forehead. if you want to share to us like being things the objective and beside of the subjective, like I think it can the what is it, synchronize both of your body language, is the hand gesture and your the vocal tone and the pace is already stable, but example your micro expression, and it could be more persuade us or we can connect it. I think that's all from me. Hope it can be benefit for you. Thank you, DTM Ravee, back to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Hani. Yes, we got to learn a lot about DTM Ravee's leadership experiences. Okay, and next up, we have our next evaluator. We have Toastmaster Jennison to evaluate Toastmaster Shabrina. Okay, Toastmaster Jennison, screen is yours.
Right, Toastmaster Shabrina, you delivered a great speech, which is very beautiful because, yeah, I feel that it's beautiful in three ways. First is that you took the audience to another place. What I mean by this is that you got us to imagine or remember what was our last Idul Fitri like. You remember, let us remember how our last Chinese New Year was like. And it took us to another place where we were with family having meals together. That's beautiful. And secondly, your speech was inclusive and well-researched. You mentioned a lot about other cultures and stuff. And this, I do feel, makes me feel really included. And I'm sure other audiences in the Zoom feels the same way too. And the third thing is that it's very well structured. Since I'm your evaluator, I'm listening to every one of your points and structures, and it feels really well structured. You have a good opening, you have a good argument, and call to action too, which is very relevant of sustainability. Something I'd like you to work on, especially since you told me that you want to work on your vocal variety and body language. Something you can do is that I noticed that your hands is mostly in this position and you were moving it around back and forth a lot, maybe unconsciously. Something you can do to help is, I mentioned that you took the audience to another place. Why don't you move a little bit in your camera? So for example, do you remember during last Idul Fitri 3 weeks ago when you were in a friend's house or in your family's house? The family was so big, everyone there was having such a huge feast and everyone was laughing together. If you move throughout your stage, you can have freer ways to free up your hand and do bigger body gestures. And secondly, something we can all work on is vocal variety, and I'll give you the next step for your vocal variety journey. It's already really good, but something you can work on is usually in your speech you have a structure, right? Opening, body, argument 1, argument 2, argument 3, closing. I want you to make sure that the end of your opening is different from the start of your first argument. and the end of your first argument sounds different from the start of your second argument. This will create the effect like when your teacher or your professor suddenly says, okay, that's all for today. You didn't remember what he was saying 30 minutes ago, right? He was mumbling. And when he says, okay, that's all for today, everyone suddenly wakes up. This is the effect we want to make of selective hearing. So when you change the way you modulate certain things in your speech, at the end of your opening and at the start of your first point, then you will bring the audience back to you. And you do that the same thing again. It will make sure you don't miss or you don't lose your audience. So to conclude, you do a lot of beautiful things in this speech that I cannot mention one by one. And to challenge you, I want you to use focal variety specifically on intersections between your structure. Back to you, Donna.
Okay, thank you to Assessor Jennison for an awesome and superb evaluation that we can all learn from. To Assessor Shabrina, let's all not forget to use our vocal variety next time. Next, we have Assessor Alvin evaluating Assessor Anom. Assessor Alvin, are you here? Okay. Okay, are you? All right. So, stage is yours.
By showing hand, any of you have been leading a project or become a chairman in your community? Are you? Raise your hand. Wow, that's very awesome. And for those of you who haven't, I told you that this is the Toastmasters is a great place to start your experience. And that is what I get from Toastmaster Anom's speech today. He shared about his plan of become a leader of a contest in a Division G speech contest. It's not an easy project. You will manage a lot of team. Very awesome from Toastmaster Anom. He opened with a quote by a very famous President Sukarno. How do you feel when you hear a quote? You feel relatable. You get hooked to his speech. That's what can you learn from Toastmaster Anom. And also by sharing his plan, he shows us how to become a leader, how to lead a contest. By doing this problem and solving method, you can catch more attention because why? Audience can feel, I can do that too. Very good job, Toastmaster Anom. And what can be better? First, the opening was very great. Only, I feel it is a little bit mumbling when you are reading the quotes. So my suggestion is if you can practice to repeat the quote over and over and over again, so when you open your speech, it will be more flawless and you can hook the attention better. And second, be more specific when telling the part of your speech. For example, like you told about the timeline. I didn't hear any specific timeline. When is the timeline? Is it on May, in June, or August? Be more specific, because if not, it feels like, is it really a project? Right? By becoming more specific, I can feel that this project is very real and I can connect to it. So overall, Toastmaster Anom, very good opening, well-structured speech by showing the solution to a problem and need to improve on practicing the line in the opening, become better in catching the audience attention, as well as become more specific and some paragraph or some key points of your speech. So overall, let's learn together for all the Toastmasters. Take a project in any Toastmasters event, you will learn something and hopefully you can do it as well as Toastmaster Anom lead the Division G contest. Over to you, Toastmaster Blanc.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Alvin, for a great evaluation to Toastmaster Anom, and congratulations to Toastmaster Anom for having completed the Division G contest. All right. Next up, we have Toastmaster Garda, our previous president. Are you here?
Hi, Toastmaster Rona. Yes, I'm here.
Yes. Toastmaster Garda is here to evaluate Toastmaster Adrian. Toastmaster Garda, the stage is yours.
Talking about money can be a lot of journey to talk about. And listening to Toastmaster Adrian's speech was like reading full of chapters of books that brought me into another dimension that we can also explore together. And what I like about Toastmaster Adrian's story and also his speech is that for the content-wise, he was excellent in the situation part, whereas at the beginning of the speech, he provided a scenario for the audience to follow, like regarding the amount of money that we have and how are we going to spend them. That is very mesmerizing because when we are talking about money, it could be a very relatable topic for everyone to digest. And also what a good part of him in regard to the content is that the background. He provided a concrete example that can be found in our daily life because when we talk about money, obviously everyone can understand every little piece of detail that what money can provide. And also in terms of delivery, he decided to stand out rather than just sitting alone and couching on his chair. That is a very clever part and clever move from Toastmaster Adrian to portray that as a professional speaker in these terms in Toastmasters. He provided an example for us that you can also stand out by taking a part in a standing position. Now, to benefit him more in the next round, if you would like to make it more emphasis and add some emphasis to his part, in terms of the delivery, because it already stood out in terms of the standing position, I may humbly suggest to mind his positioning. I did notice that at some parts, he was moving around from one place to another. While on the other hand, when we deliver speech or gave a presentation to the audience, every little gesture matters. Like for example, when we raise our hands, it could mean raising a salary because we were talking about money. Or when we look closer to the camera, we mad at the audience. So it gave a different meaning to give more emphasis to your speech itself, just Mr. Adrian. And now for the content-wise, as I mentioned earlier at the beginning, that it was like reading a book full of chapters, different chapters about life and money. At the beginning, I noticed that he provided a rhetorical question about how are we going to spend or use our money. And in the body, he mentioned about different notable people, about their life and their money. At the end, he also gave his stance about money doesn't change people. So I think that in order to make it more cohesive, you may think of how to make it more coherent. Like, for example, you can provide your own personal story or example on how you manage your own money. Because using personal story in your speech, it could make the topic even more relatable. So you can use it to make your next speech and your second speech could be more cohesive. Back to you, GE.
All right, thank you very much, Toastmaster Garda. It is truly a reminder that even though we're all in our homes, we should definitely use the best of our space to stand up and gesture the best that we can. All right, next up, we have our next evaluator, Toastmaster Revo. Toastmaster Revo will evaluate Toastmaster Ivonne. Toastmaster Revo, stage is yours.
Okay, all right, Toastmaster Ivonne, I really like your speech. I believe it was about the dark side of fashion and the impact from the production of the fashion itself in this era. And if you read the news, actually there are a lot of protests that is or have been happening to big brands such as LV and other, even H&M, all kinds of big brands that produce clothes. They polluted the environment, right? So I really like how Toastmasters Yvonne's research on how the factory polluted the environment during or after production, because it poisons the earth, right? It poisons the earth, and I love how she, in the same time, giving awareness on how dangerous clothes productions these days is. And then she also gives solutions to us on by going organic or using or choosing non-chemical produced clothes. I personally do not know what are those kind of clothes, but there must be some kind of clothes that, you know, that is great for the environment. But I do want to pinpoint things that you can fix in the future. Perhaps the number one that's the most important thing that you can improve is the pronunciation, because I think most of your speech, not most, but most of the time, I do not know what you're trying to convey. So I think it's better to train on your pronunciation. Any accents do work, but as long as it is clear and easy to understand and understood, I think it's great for you. I think that's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Eva, for providing an evaluation, a wonderful one to Toastmaster Yvonne. We get to learn that presenting research doesn't have to be all that data-y and heavy. And it is a reminder that Toastmaster Yvonne has gone so far, and let's congratulate the both of them once again. All right, and last up we have Toastmaster Nia. Toastmaster Nia will evaluate our last speaker, Toastmaster Raqi. Toastmaster Nia, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello, stage is yours.
All right. Thank you, Toastmaster Runa. Firstly, please give a round of applause to Toastmaster Raqi for delivering his project tonight. So I think he looks comfortable enough to engage the audience, from typing to the chat box, and then he asking to the audience directly. So they connect with the story, and he excel at connecting audience story, people's story, to the common story that he already told us. So he also excelled at giving the tips also, and brings the value from his speech, like expressing feeling other than blaming, good listener, about communication, that key for everything. So you've done a great job also in giving tones variety, changing from the lady to the boy, but you may want to work on the pace. Don't forget. If I may suggest you, you may perhaps shorten the dialogue in your story so that you can focus about the story itself, and you may have the good clarity in delivering your speech. So you can tell the whole story, and we can complete to hearing your story. And to challenge yourself, it might be better if you can share your personal experience of the story. So the whole speech will be more connecting to each line. And yes, it will be complete from connecting your story, personal story, common story, and people or audience story. So in conclusion, you excel at engaging, create the awareness, and giving the value to your speech. So for your improvement, you may work on pacing and your clarity of delivering the story. So well done for your project, Toastmaster Raqi. Looking forward to see your progress. And back to our general evaluator.
Thank you very much to our last personal evaluator, Toastmaster Nia. Next up, I would like to call our timer to give her time report. Toastmaster Nia, stage is yours.
Okay, thank you, PE. Now I will type the recap of each evaluators, and unfortunately, we have one evaluator who is not eligible to do it. So we only will vote for 6 evaluators. That's all from me. Back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nia. Now, we'd like to call upon our ballot counter, Toastmaster Farah, to provide the voting link for all of us.
Yes, I already share the link on the chat box. So please, everyone, vote for your best evaluator in this meeting session. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll give a 1 minute of silence for all of us to vote. Please vote for the best evaluator of tonight. Okay, as the minute has turned on my clock, I will now continue. Okay, we are now here to witness the evaluation team in their reports. I would like to first call our debutante, Toastmaster Leonie, as the WOD counter. Toastmaster Leonie, are you here?
Hello.
Okay, hello.
Okay, hello,
Stage is yours.
Okay, thank you for your time. So, in general, every speaker delivered their speeches well. And because we have a limited time, I'm going to share my screen so that you could all take a look at all of our favorite fillers for tonight. So as you can see, our favorite fillers sound for tonight is and then our favorite connective words that is being used as a fillers is and. It is usually used in sentence like in the first and the second, things like that. And then, yeah, and we have several speakers that do not have any fillers on during their speech. As you can see here, there are TM Adrian, TM Garda, TM Ivonne, TM Donna, TM Rena, and then there's also our word of the day, which is pace, that is being used 6 times tonight, if I keep the pace right. So thank you for that. Thank you for having me, and that's all for the report. Back to you, Madam G.
Okay, thank you very much to Joseph Leone for providing a great first report for the AdVOD counter. And let's give her a round of applause for doing it just like a seasoned speaker. Okay, next up we have our grammarian. Toastmaster Lai, are you here?
Yes, I am.
Okay, stage is yours.
Okay, thank you, General Evaluator. Here is my report for our session tonight. The first, I will start with the pronunciations that we can try to improve in future presentations. The first word that I've noted down is strive. It's actually pronounced strive. Strive. The second one is presence. Is presence. Present. It has a similar sound with the word present. Just the end we speak it presence. Presence. The third one is Lincoln. Actually, it's read Lincoln. And the last one, emoticon, is what we pronounce is emoticon. So there are some words that I can note down that we can try to improve. I will be faceless during this session. When I heard for this one, I thought, are we in a horror movie? Let's suggest that we use, I will not be visible in my screen for this throughout the session. The next one is, I am famous for anxious easily. I am famous to get anxious easily. The word for, change it to get. The comfort of our home is correct. Is correct actually. Indirectly, when we mention in our home, change the word of our home, in our home. The comfort is in our home. Good for sustainability. The correct the word suggestion is, for me, suggestion is, it is more sustainable. Newly joining member, they have joined the club, so they are newly joined members. That help people on the street. These are just few missing words that are able to help people on the streets. The next one is, why someone poison? There are some words that we can incorporate either why someone is or are poisoning us. The word new or no is a different understandings. No is where we try to find out something. When we use the word new, that we already know the thing or we knew about the problem. So learn to differentiate no and new. Have you done your lunch? This is a misappropriate of words. I like to suggest, have you eaten your lunch or have you done preparing your lunch? And here are the beautiful phrases that I've noted down. There are 4. Remove the subjectivity and it will become as simple as ABCD by DTM Ravee. Eating out is not sustainable for our wallet by Toastmaster Shabrina. Your title is a clickbait by Toastmaster Nanda. And the last one, my favorite. Thank you SCBD members for being there for me when I get anxious by Toastmaster Agung. And that's my report. Back for you, Donna.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lai, for providing a super succinct grammarian report for us tonight. Definitely got to learn a lot from you tonight. And we are here at the end of the journal evaluation session. I will provide some evaluations. First of all, congratulations to SCBD for always starting on time. We started at 6:55 on the dot. However, we are running out of time right now as we speak. I do suggest the team, could you unmute please? I do suggest the team to be sure to calculate properly. We could probably go with only 6 speakers instead of 7, but that's totally fine. No regrets. We got to hear wonderful things from all of you. No one had anything like technical issues. No one had anything like cut off cameras or anything like that. Everyone's audios were working perfectly, so that's good. Congratulations to all of you for being super technologically savvy. And lastly, I'd like to request all speakers and evaluators to always be mindful of the time. Some of you were great speakers, however, you guys went over and it was a shame not to be able to vote for the some of you that were not in time. With that, that will be the end of my general evaluation. I'd like to hand back to the control to our Toastmaster of the meeting, Toastmaster Nanda. Toastmaster Nanda, stage is yours.
Yes, thank you, Toastmaster Donna. Very comprehensive evaluation, and also thank you for all Ranger for tonight. You have always you already give us a great evaluation and also the beautiful quotes from all of you. Okay, guys, so this is the end of the meeting. But before we close the meeting, we need to call our ballot counter to present. Okay, thank you, Toastmaster. I just learned how to pronounce presents to presents who will be favorite speaker for tonight. Yes, please our ballot counter, Toastmaster. I forgot who. Okay, Toastmaster Farah, you are the ballot counter for tonight.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Let
So,
me share.
yes, the screen
Okay.
is yours.
Okay,
I just want to
thank
say
you.
that.
Wait a sec. I get hard. Let me share my screen first. Sec. So, okay, I will announce who is the best prepared speakers and the best evaluator for tonight. Please drum roll, please. For best prepared speakers is Toastmaster Adrian. Congratulations. Who will take a picture?
Ellen.
Okay.
Okay, Toastmaster Adrian, please pose. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, back to you, Farah.
Okay, thank you. And then next for our best evaluator, drum roll please. Toastmaster Garda, congratulations.
Okay, Toastmaster Garda, please pose. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Okay. Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's all from me. Back to our Tom. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Farah. So, congratulations for Toastmaster Adrian and also Toastmaster Garda. Yes, talk about money is very interesting topic, but others are also interesting for me especially. So, okay, we already know who the most favorite speakers for tonight. It means this is a time for me to end my session as a Toastmaster of the meeting. I'm so sorry for any mistake or mispronoun that I've done. I hope we can meet to the next meeting soon, and I will give the control back to our president, Toastmaster Alvin. Toastmaster Alvin, the screen is yours.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nanda, the VPM from Jakarta Motivators. And please give a round of applause for everyone of us. Very good job. And before we close the session, let me have some quick announcement from Toastmaster Donna, our queen of pickup line. Over to you, Toastmaster Donna.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay. Thank you, Mr. President. So, hello, everybody. How are you doing tonight? Please unmute yourselves.
Very good.
Okay, so my name is Donna, and I am here to solve my own problem through SCBD Toastmasters. At the end of the month, SCBD Toastmasters is holding a very special, very brand new pickup line battle. Oh no. So please join us. It is going to be a multi-tier tournament event where you get to face off against each other, providing the smoothest and greasiest lines to everybody. And no worries if you're uncomfortable being greasy, you can always deliver friendly lines and become a role taker. So please text me if you'd like to become a role taker or participant for our pickup line battle. Roses are red, violets are blue. Say cakep.
Cakep.
Looking forward
Hands
to
up.
having you.
Yay!
Thank you very much. Back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Donna. So please come on 26 May. Our pickup line battle will be led by Toastmaster Donna. So hopefully the population of single men and women can be decreased by 66.67% around the world. Yeah. So you have your pickup line on your arsenal. So with that, that is it for our session for today. Let's close this. And before that, please unmute yourself and repeat after me. Happy morning.
Happy morning.
Good morning.
And meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you,
See
Thank
you.
you,
everyone.
everyone. Who takes part.
SGBD.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.